When we think of the Flash, the DC Speedsters immediately come to mind, right? But hold on, there's so much more behind that name. Over the years, several Flashes have taken the spotlight, and even villains have jumped on the bandwagon like Reverse Flash, Black Flash, and Dark Flash. But here's the twist. Not every speedster in DC carries the name Flash. In this video, I'll show you who these incredible runners are, including some who've even outpaced certain Flashes. And there are a few classics here you might not even remember. Let's dive in. DC is packed with speedsters, and we automatically think of the Flash. But seriously, there's a whole crew out there burning rubber. They practically created the concept of speedsters, right? But while many end up taking on the name Flash, not all of them stick to that rule. Some are insanely fast with completely different names, and some aren't even connected to the Speed Force. In this video, I'll introduce you to these incredible speedsters who don't wear the Flash's mantle. Stay tuned. Max Mercury. This guy is an absolute legend among DC speedsters, practically the first to ever come into contact with the Speed Force. It all began in 1838 when he gained super speed from a Native American shaman he befriended. As he used his powers, he noticed something more, a mysterious force tied to his speed, which he later discovered was the Speed Force. Max started running so fast that he ended up traveling through time, leaping into different eras until he finally landed in the present day. Now, he serves as a mentor to younger speedsters and is almost a spiritual scholar of the Speed Force. He even uses meditation to connect with this energy. Honestly, Max Mercury would make an incredible character in the DC movies. Johnny Quick. Here's a curious case. Two very different characters share the name Johnny Quick. The first is a Golden Age hero who gained his super speed through a scientific formula. He was one of the founding members of the All-Star Squadron and is the father of speedster Jesse Quick. The coolest part? He's the perfect contrast to Max Mercury. While Max sees the Speed Force as something mystical, Johnny approaches it as pure science. This makes for some great debates between the two. The second Johnny Quick comes straight out of Earth 3. He's the villainous counterpart to the Flash and a member of the crime syndicate. Yeah, just hearing the name of that group screams alternate universe, right? Jesse Quick. This heroine is absolutely incredible. She inherited amazing abilities from both sides of her family. Super speed from her father, Johnny Quick, and super strength from her mother, Liberty Bell. After her father's death, Jessie became a protege of Max Mercury, gaining even more experience in the world of speedsters. She's been part of powerhouse teams like the Justice League and even the Titans. For a time, Jessie adopted her mother's heroic name, Liberty Bell, as a tribute to her family's legacy. And for fans of the Flash TV series, she appeared as the daughter of Earth 2's Harrison Wells, making her mark in several seasons. Is she a well-rounded character, or what? Tornado Twins. Don Allen and Dawn Allen, known as the Tornado Twins, are the children of Barry Allen, the Flash, and Iris West. Don Allen is a DC speedster with a story full of legacy and tragedy. Don and his sister were born in the 30th century, where they grew up carrying the immense responsibility of the Allen name and the Speed Force legacy. While both were speedsters, Don was known for his calm and thoughtful nature, in contrast to his sister's vibrant energy. He fought alongside her on numerous occasions, but the twins' lives were never easy. They grew up in an era where their powers were seen as a threat, forcing them to fight for acceptance. Sadly, Don met a tragic end. He died saving the future of his family and the world. Dawn Allen inherited her father's incredible super speed powers and her mother's heroic heart. While her brother was more calm and introspective, Dawn was full of energy and determination, always ready to use her powers to make a difference in the world. The twins faced tough times. In the future, metahumans were feared and persecuted, and they spent much of their lives trying to prove their powers were a force for good. Dawn was a natural leader, often inspiring her brother and others around her to fight for what was right. She sacrificed herself in a critical battle, protecting her family and the future. Dawn's legacy lives on through her daughter, XS, and the many speedsters who continue to follow in the footsteps of the Flash family. XS. This speedster comes straight from the future and is a member of the Legion of Superheroes. XS is also the granddaughter of Barry Allen, which makes her a proud member of the famous Flash family. Her mother is Dawn Allen, making Speed an undeniable family legacy. As part of the Legion, XS primarily operates in the 30th century, but if you've watched the Flash series, you might recognize a version of her there. In the show, XS is Nora Allen, Barry's daughter, coming from a future that's not too far ahead, about 20 years. Another change in the show is that she's the sister of Bart Allen, aka Impulse, while in the comics, they're cousins. See how adaptations always tweak things a bit? Savitar. Let's talk about villains because, let's face it, they deserve their spot on this list. And Savitar is a name that fans of the Flash series will instantly recognize. That villain with the super badass look, right? But here's the twist. In the comics, his story is totally different. In the comics, Savitar was a Cold War pilot who gained super speed after being struck by lightning during a flight test. That's right, while lightning in real life would cause serious burns, in the comics, it turned him into a speedster. This event completely changed his mindset, and he began to see himself as a god. He went all in on the idea, forming his own cult and becoming obsessed with speed. He wanted to be the only speedster in the world, even stealing speed from others and calling himself the god of speed. Naturally, this led to some epic showdowns with the Flash. In the TV series, however, Savitar is a version of Barry Allen himself, who became a villain and took on the name to get revenge on Team Flash. He also tries to ensure his existence by creating a time loop, making the plot even crazier. Two very different takes, but both equally iconic. Trajectory. This heroine has a truly tragic story. She was part of the Everyman Project, an initiative led by Lex Luthor to grant metahuman powers to ordinary people. A self-proclaimed fan of speedsters, she dreamed of becoming the next Kid Flash. Driven by that dream, she joined the project and became a member of the new iteration of Infinity Inc., a young hero team rooted in the Silver Age. But that's when the problem started. Her powers were unstable and dependent on a drug supplied by Luthor himself to stay under control. Over time, she realized she was being manipulated and decided to leave the team. However, she eventually returned, only to pay the ultimate price. Suspicious and angered by her defiance, Lex deactivated her powers during a fight with Blockbuster. The result? Without her speed, Trajectory was brutally torn apart and killed by the villain. In the Flash series, Trajectory also makes an appearance in one episode. There, she's a speedster who gains powers through a drug, but becomes addicted and meets a similarly tragic end. Later, her suit is reused by Jesse Quick in the show, a memorable character but with a cruel fate in both versions. Godspeed. Godspeed, or August Hart, is a speedster who brought a dark and unpredictable edge to the DC universe. He was a detective and a friend of Barry Allen, but everything changed when he gained super speed after being struck by lightning during a Speed Force storm. At first, he seemed to be on the side of good, but it didn't take long for his distorted sense of justice to emerge. August decided to use his powers to permanently eliminate criminals, believing the legal system was broken. He took on the name Godspeed and began stealing speed from other speedsters, making himself even more powerful. This put him in direct conflict with the Flash, as his methods completely contradicted Barry's values. In the CW's The Flash series, Godspeed also made an appearance, standing out as a villain with an impressive look and envy-worthy abilities. He's the kind of speedster who shows how the Speed Force can be harnessed for both good and absolute chaos. Superman. And of course, I can't leave Superman off this list, right? While super speed isn't the main focus of his powers, Superman still ranks among the speedsters. One of the biggest debates in the DC universe is who's faster, Superman or the Flash. But come on, we all know who's faster, right? I know it, you know it. The Flash is way faster than Superman, and that's no longer a theory or a calculation. It's a confirmed fact. Even so, Superman's speed is still impressive. Though it's just one of the many abilities in his ridiculously overpowered arsenal, he's reached insane levels, like the speed of light, in certain comic book stories. Without any connection to the Speed Force or the Flash name, he still deserves a spot on this list. After all, Superman is the kind of hero who can do it all and still have energy left for an epic race every now and then. So, what did you think of the list? Did we miss any speedsters you were hoping to see? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for sticking around, and I'll see you next time.